What's up, everyone? I'm back with yet another GSC NU game. This time it is between Joelituh and Siatam. Siatam? Sia Thomas? I don't think that's how it's meant to be pronounced. Um, my bad. In any case, Joelituh representing the Tenacious Tyranitars, whereas Siatam is representing the Royal Raikous. This is week one, once again, following the game between Risyus and Ranshin, between the Mux and the Vaporeons, and this will be the second game that I will be covering. So, I have not seen this game, I believe, or if I have, I don't remember all of the outcomes. So let's just get right into it, and we see a interesting lead, a Pineco lead versus a Wheezing lead, and you don't see that every day. That's definitely, it's not uncommon. It's definitely something to keep, like, that you want to, keep track of, as many times there will be fire leads, especially Rapidash. Rapidash can basically put anything to sleep, but it can not only Oko things, but that means that oftentimes some people will bring in things specifically tailored to check Rapidash, like a Sleep Talker, like Wigglytuff or something. And in those occasions, that's when a Pineco or maybe a Wheezing can get the edge, because the former manages to get you spikes on the first turn, whereas the other one is rather bulky. So, interestingly enough, Siatam brings in his Hitmonlee, and the Wheezing is not a Fire Blast one, but a Flamethrower one, so as to maintain PP. So we already get an idea of the type of playstyle that Joelituh will be playing. A very safe-natured playstyle, I'd like to think. And in comes the Sneasel. I do not think that the Thief Xatu from Siatam's end manages to steal anything, which suggests that even Joelituh's running a Thief user. Now, Sneasel is a very interesting Xatu check, and if we get the chance to see, I'll explain a few of the moves that it uses to check Xatu. So we also see a Kingler, which is a very solid check to Sneasel, as it doesn't have particularly high special attack and it uses ice moves. Wheezing takes a big chunk from Xatu. Joelituh is very much aware of the fact that the Wheezing can survive the Xatu Psychic and is willing to make the trade. And we see an interesting offense from Siatam's end. It's kind of mixed. We have the Kingler, which sets up and uses moves such as Frustration, the Magnemite, and a Hitmonlee, which may use Rapid Spin or Body Slam and High Jump Kick. Wigglytuff is slightly bulky, but not as bulky as you might think, as you might imagine normal types like in Overused. But nonetheless, Joelituh is using this as a response to the Magnemite. Fortunately, he manages to get a paralysis through Thunderwave. Thunderwave Protect is an interesting method of stalling here. The Magmar comes in, and Oko's the Pineco. Fortunately for Joelituh, does not manage to deny the spikes, and the Sneasel is taking a significant amount of damage. It doesn't seem as though it will be able to do much. It's done its part, though, for the most part. It thieves to take away the main source of passive recovery from Magnemite, so as to make it a little bit more of a liability versus Wigglytuff. And in comes the Magmar, manages to dodge a Thunder. And Magmar is very risky, very unpredictable, and very offensive and fast. Well, relatively at least. Hitmonlee is slightly slower, but since Magmar is a bit of a glass cannon, doesn't have any source of passive recovery outside of its own leftovers, That means that if you can respond to it repeatedly through attacks, then it doesn't want to stay in forever. And we see how Siatam reveals his last with the Stantler, managing to challenge the Magmar and to a certain extent also the Xatu. And here we have once again the exchange between Sneasel and Magnemite. And Sneasel run moves with generally run moves with a physical attacks to deal as much damage as possible to Xatu. We also see a Shadow Ball and Moonlight, and Moonlight is pretty good. Occasionally you may see a Nightmare Sneasel, but in this case we have a different thing. It seems as though Joelituh had something else in mind, and you can see how slowly it's managing to recover HP, while Siatam is just trying to play it safe and stall out the Sneasel, because there isn't really much that it can do, even with the Spadef drop. Ghost is a normal, rather a physical attack, so there's nothing to gain from this Spadef drop, and the Magnemite can just stay in all day, get lucky with a Sleep Talk move, and then KO the Sneasel, but it seems like this is just quite the trickster, being the dark type that it is. And Magnemite keeps on rolling the hidden power. Well, it's probably hidden power ice. So yeah. Wow, this Magnemite just can't get a break here. As if it weren't bad enough to have to, like, go through the accuracy check for Thunder and everything, but he just keeps on summoning hidden power. At this point, he's consumed 8 Sleep Talk PP. Finally wakes up, hits the Sneasel with a Thunder, gets the paralysis finally, and now Siatam can quite safely use rest and still threaten the Sneasel effectively. Joelituh decides that he'd rather it stay this way. He doesn't want to concede anything. He keeps the Magmar, and then he doubles out immediately. So he switches the Magmar in and doubles out to bring in his own Kingler. I'm not sure if this is what you would consider a check to Hitmonlee, but he takes advantage of the Sleep Talk turns. He wants to see if he can get any shot at setting up with the Kingler and sweeping quickly with a Sword Stance and Substitute. The other two moves being generally Return or Frustration and a Hidden Power Ground to Oko are many of the normal resistors after a Sword Stance. Maybe not all of them, but definitely Magnemite. But Stantler is faster than Kingler, so the sweep is cut short as Joelituh switches to Xatu, gets off a rest here. That said, the match is looking quite faster than the previous NU match that we've been looking at. I say it's pretty good so far. He sacrifices the Kingler to bring in the Magmar once again. He's going to deliver a powerful blow. Will he use a Thunder Punch? No, he just goes for the Fire Blast, knows that it deals significant chunk to Kingler nonetheless, almost in range of a 3-hit KO, and goes for another Thunder Punch. At this point, Magmar takes a chunk from Siatam's Surf Kingler. Obviously outspeeds the Kingler. There isn't much to do here except just endure what is to endure, and then threaten back. And Joelituh is keeping his Magmar, persistent as he is, keeping it on the side to bring it back in again once Magnemite will be called upon. And this time round, Xatu is summoned to challenge the Stantler. And this is looking quite dicey. It's actually quite a nail-biter, because at this point of the game, with a light screen up, Siatam can slowly set up, and this may be quite deciding. Which of these two players will win? Will the Magmar succeed? Will Xatu succeed in chipping Stantler to a point that will let Magmar just finish him off? Will Stantler manage to reverse sweep? If the Xatu misses the rest, oh, okay, no, it was the third turn, so yes. So Xatu wakes up and gets crit. Oh no. And it looks like, see you, Tom. is going to be the one saying see you. So Siatam wins, and well, that means a victory for the Raikous. Now, to update the scores, there are many different matches going on in the first week. Actually, I'll update the scores later. In any case, if you guys liked the match, if you have any questions, then by all means leave a comment. And please have a look at some of the matches in the playlist that I will be updating, called GSC PL, and have a look at any of the other GSC videos in the playlist that you may see. Check out my channel. Consider joining the GSC Discord if it's something that is to your liking, because I plan on covering at least one game of all of the different tiers. So GG's folks, and I love you. Until next time.